time to get served with your boy Phil. What's up? A little early today. Thought I'd get a nice little live going today. A little early. Happy Monday. How we doing? I got some great clips for us today. We got Judge Silverfox. He's got a semi-nasty little custody hearing. This guy's got a little attitude on him in the top right corner. So let's get rolling, nerds. Let's have some fun.
Suicidal ideation can be a side effect of excessive substance abuse. We're running as iChat. There's apparently been a recent arrest or some sort of involvement in a bar fight. Again, there's a whole lot more investigation here that needs to happen. In a nutshell, looking at this from the child's perspective, and referee, you know that's always my perspective. This child hasn't been cared for by this man. Is he the dad? Yes. Does he have rights? Yes. Would I encourage the court in this matter to take it slowly? 1000%. He doesn't know the bedtime. He doesn't know the child's ritual. He doesn't know anything along those lines. His family hasn't been involved. In fact, they've been discouraged from communicating with my client. There's just so many different red flags here. She asked for daycare assistance. He wouldn't provide it. He's not paying any child support. He's not doing anything to care for this child. And so, referee, what we're looking for is a hearing in this matter. We're asking the court to move this very, very slowly. And perhaps supervised parenting time would be appropriate, that drug screening would be appropriate, and that parenting classes for Mr. Keikos would further be appropriate. We're asking for an interim order for child support pending the investigation. I don't have any numbers from Mr. Keikos to run a UCSO, but he is a podiatrist. So I think the court can impute some substantial income in that. And I would just remind the court that they have no evidence upon which to base their assertions. They have nothing. We firmly intend to fill the court and opposing and brother counsel with a plethora of evidence to support ours. And at a minimum, Your Honor, if the court is not inclined to do a supervised parenting time, that perhaps the court would only order the 16th Circuit at this time, wherein the child is under 18 months of age, and where he can have little increments of time with the minor child. I mean, he doesn't know what to feed him. He doesn't know his likes. He doesn't know his bedtime routine. He knows nothing.
Okay. So Mr. Keikos, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and ma'am, you as well. So Mr. Keikos, how long did you date Miss Green? When did you,
for over a
how long
year.
were you guys together?
For over a year.
And when did that end?
I would say around Christmas time, December of last year, when they started to come apart.
Okay. And did you guys ever live together, reside in the same residence?
We never lived together, though. When we were together, I was there majority of the time, and I would say at least 3 nights out of the week. I did feed him. I did wake up with him. I did know his schedule at the time. I knew exactly what he was eating. I was the one buying his formula. I actually bought him several formulas until we figured out he was lactose intolerant. I know more of his diet than they are allowing me to state currently.
So tell me, describe your day-to-day routine. So how old? So you just broke up in December of 2022?
Yes, sir. Well, around that time, leading into January.
Okay.
Excuse me. I don't want to.
What month is his birthday in? So is he 12 months, 14 months old? Where is he at? When's his birthday?
His birthday is 1/22/22.
Okay, see, he just turned 1.
Yes, sir.
So describe when you were there 3 days a week. Describe how a day went. You said you were feeding him and stuff. So describe that to me. How did a day go when you were there?
Normally I would arrive there
Judge Silverfox.
Tuesday after, if starting at the beginning of the week, I would be there Tuesday night. So after work on Tuesday, I would drive there and be with them, help her during the day. And then his routine usually starts around 7:30, which is a bath. Prior to that, I'll back up. Prior to that is he would have dinner anywhere from 6:30 to 7:30, and then he would take a shower, and he's in bed anywhere from 8 to 8:30. And at the beginning, he would wake up. He would wake up around 11:30 at night and go back to bed till around 3 to 4 a.m. and then wake up again around anywhere from 6:30 to 7:30. So when I was there, I was very much in tune and honed into his schedule. But now it's been over a month, so yes, I don't know his feedings completely yet. I would hope that they are the same. His sleeping schedule, I'm sure, is the same. His mom was very adamant about their sleeping schedule. We have taken him off formula. He is currently eating solids. When he was over, when we were allowed to see him, my family was very involved. We made food for him. For her to take every time, extra food that I would even help prepare, as well as my family. My family was very involved. They're just not allowed to see him currently. Ali herself has stated the relationship he's had with specifics with my sisters, one particular Vianne, and so that's not true in that manner. And some of the other statements I would like to make make a statement on that was told that are not true as well. I don't have a substance issue, and a matter of fact, we anticipated the statement. So I had a drug test done last week. Results are not in yet. I do see a psychiatrist and a therapist. I am under medication prescribed. It is not for anxiety, it is for ADHD.
Okay, and so
That being said,
why did you suspect Miss Green would allege drug use? Why did you suspect that?
Because that was her primary issue. That's how it all started, with her keeping me from seeing him. At first, she started saying that I have a drug issue, which kept me from being able to pick him up and drop him off. So she slowly started chopping down at my responsibilities. So it turned into we were allowed to see him on Wednesdays and Sundays, as we had agreed, but I couldn't pick him up anymore because I had a drug issue, which I did not. And my drug test will show that, as well as my psych.
So why do you think this dialogue started about drug use? So it sounds like the allegation is overuse of prescription medication. So why do you think that became an issue in your relationship, and now you guys are here and it's issue with the court?
I think it's daily stress from being a new parent and us not living together, and me being an hour away from her at work and just not being able to provide enough my time, although as she pleased and so forth. She was stressed out.
What did she do for your practice? How long have you been?
So for my practice, she was helping me with, she started in, I would say, about 6 months or so with me. I have the paperwork. I can't give you the exact timing.
Exact dates don't matter. I'm just wondering what her position was.
So she was there helping me with posting stuff on Facebook and other social media. Once we got to that, which was just handling my Google business account and Facebook posts, but she stopped doing that. And I did tell her I was going to stop paying her.
What city do each of you respectively live in? Where do you live at?
I live in Southfield and I work in Southgate. She lives in Sterling.
Okay. All right. And that's how it's been throughout your whole relationship?
Yes, sir.
That's your residents are. And how long have you been in practice?
I've been in practice since June of 2021.
Okay, so relatively new.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to tell me? Because I'm going to ask Ms. Green her position as to what's been said.
Yes. The last thing is an arrest. There's been no arrest. There was a small incident 5+ years ago. I don't even have a parking ticket in my name. It didn't go to court. There is nothing to expunge. There is nothing to see. I'm sure Ms. Jody will do her due diligence and find that to be true. So there's nothing there.
Okay. So Ms. Green, do you want to tell me your position? He says no drug issues. He fed the baby, got up in the morning, stayed at your house 3 days a week, and is not sure why you're saying these things. So tell me your side of everything.
So Fadia had intermittent coming over. It was not anything regular. It was not anything consistent. He would tell me that he would be coming to help, and then at the last minute decide he had something else he needed to do for work. We did initiate a parenting time plan in April 2021 or 2022, I'm sorry, just to give our son a little bit more consistency to see his father, since it was so sporadic.
Was that the Wednesday and Sundays? Was that the agreement?
Correct. So it started off, we had initially made a plan because when I was pregnant prior to this, I'm a nurse. So I was working my nursing job full time. So we had initially made a plan to accommodate for that so that I could go back to work, given the parenting time schedule, so I wouldn't have to find extra childcare. So originally our plan was every Wednesday, since that was Buddy's day off from work, It was, sorry, I'm trying to look at my notes here. I believe it was 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then a 4-hour block every Sunday. From there, he decided that every Sunday was too much. He didn't have a place to take our son because he didn't tell me where he lived for the longest time. Come to find out, he had been lying about where he was living and lives with his parents. From every other Sunday, we had to cut the time down on Wednesdays because Fadia had continually kept scheduling work and other things on Wednesdays to include surgery, going to the mall, random, he took his dad for a medical appointment, even though he has a substantial amount of sisters who can assist with those kinds of things. He would routinely not return our son on time. He would fall asleep. I would have to call his sisters relentlessly, who weren't answering the phone very often, to get our son back in a timely manner so that I could initiate his bedtime routine.
Okay, so let me interject here for a minute and make a couple points. So at some point, you guys are now under the eyes of the court. You're going to be for a long time. So schedules need to be followed once they happen. Now, other than these conflicts and him taking dad to doctors and stuff, when it comes to parenting time, the biggest concern of the court is if he is a safety risk to your child. So he may not have been consistent. That's neither really here or there right now. Now we're here. Your son is 1. We have 17 years left here. And now there's going to be a court order and a schedule. So my question to you, Ms. Green, is my biggest concern is allegations regarding why you think he has a substance abuse problem or wouldn't basically be safe to have your child for really long extended periods of time. Because what I'm hearing now is frustration over him not being consistent, him not being timely, him, scheduling surgeries and stuff, which obviously he's got a new practice, so that may happen. He'll have to determine once the schedule's set, he'll have to get childcare during his time. But the biggest concern here, which we use to limit time, is whether he's any form of safety risk or has to get up to speed on his skills as a dad. He's saying he was there 3 days a week. He was feeding. You guys went through checking different formulas out. He's a doctor. He's not, he knows not how to put a child in danger. He doesn't say that, but I'm going to take that for granted. So tell me your concerns about him he's asking right now, alternate weekends, 1 night a week. Sounds like the night a week, to be frank, with your schedule, sir. I don't know if that works so well because you're building a new practice. But we'll get back to that.
Yes.
So, ma'am, tell me what your concerns are. I've heard allegations of substance abuse. In your motion, you allege physical, mental, and sexual abuse. So you're going to have to tell me about that. Why should I limit Mr. Keikos's time with your child together, both of your child? Why should I do that?
Absolutely. Sorry, I was just trying to give you a more complete, rounded story.
You guys are both. That's absolutely fine. So no one's done anything wrong here, guys. You guys are fine. So go ahead, ma'am.
With regards to the drug abuse, Fadi initially told me when we were first dating that he was prescribed these medications. He told me that he was prescribed Adderall, and he also had a prescription for, I think it was Xanax at the time. I would have to reference my documents here. However, I slowly began to figure out that Fadi had not been prescribed it, was not being managed by a provider. He stole my medication on numerous accounts. He eventually told me that he was not being prescribed these medications, was not being managed by a provider. I tried to assist him in finding a mental health provider that he could be consistent with. I think this one was the third one that he had, and he still wasn't even consistent with it.
So why were you guys having a dialogue about mental health? So you're a doctor, right?
Yes, sir.
Psychiatrist, is it? Yeah, so he's a doctor. So, ma'am, so whether he was prescribed or not, tell me what kind of behavior made you think he had a mental health issue, because it sounds like you were having a dialogue about that, and why you think he was abusing the meds. What behavior did exhibit that would show that he was taking too much or under the influence of stuff he wasn't prescribed? So how did it affect his behavior, and what led you guys to have dialogues about him needing mental health help?
Well, he was stealing my medication, primarily was the biggest one. Other than that, it would cause him to not be able to regulate his emotions well, and he would constantly lash out in anger and not be able to manage his anger. And he was also taking it at really obscure times. There are multiple text messages that I have of him saying I couldn't sleep because I took my Adderall super late. I only got 2 hours of sleep because I'm not taking it, or I kept taking too much or whatever else. It just became to a point where he was buying this medication illegally, which for obvious reasons isn't beneficial to our son or himself. And
Adderall is the medication he was stealing from you? Correct. That you allege? Okay. So, and when you said he lashed out, so tell me about, those are pretty big allegations set forth in your motion: physical, mental, and sexual abuse. Do you want to tell me about those things?
Yes. So there have been a few issues in regards to the physical violence. It started, sorry, let me just pull up my dates here.
And exact dates, as long as it's, ballpark of the year. If it's 6 months, a year, that's what's important to the court. Of the frequency, when it happened, how recent was it?
Okay. It was all within this last year.
Snorting the Ritalin.
Sorry, it's just.
So when you said he lashed out, tell me how he lashed out at you. What does that mean? I'm not sure what lashing out means.
He would just scream. He punched a hole in my wall. Let me see. The first incident was in May of 2022. He came over to help with our son because I had some things that I need to accomplish. And I went into the bathroom. I was bending down to do something behind the door. He came and opened the door on me, hit me with the door, and then proceeded to have an emotional breakdown, scream, and say, "I'm not doing this anymore, I'm leaving," and then proceeds to send me a text message stating that he left me that day. He didn't leave his son. Even though he left me on the floor, barely able to walk. I was later hospitalized for 3 days. That's
for what, an injury from getting hit by the door?
Correct. I had been suffering an issue with my hip after the birth of my son that was progressively getting worse. And unfortunately, when he hit me with the door, I was unable to walk well at all, or barely care for our son after this. So he left. And I had to call my mom to come help me. And then the next incident was...
Thank you.
In October 2015, or I'm sorry, October 15th, 2022. He was also supposed to help me this day so I could go to a doctor's appointment. He continually accuses me of taking his keys on every occasion, or he'll accuse me of taking his phone. He slapped me in the face multiple times. He dumped an entire bottle of water on me and spit in my face. I did end up spraining my ankle as he pushed me off the bed, and multiple bruises on my arms and legs, and I had whiplash on my neck. I had to go.
This is the October incident?
Yes. I had to go to my chiropractor, who annotated in his notes that I had whiplash. And Vadi even prescribed me a steroid for my ankle because I had injured it.
And I need pasta.
So
and
what was
send
the
it over
dialogue
here.
after this alleged incident happened? So you guys, sounds like you're in bed, an incident happened, he slaps you, pushes you to bed, you say you get whiplash and sprain your ankle. What was the dialogue after that with him? Like, is there an apology? Like, how does that go that you get prescribed meds, and what was the dialogue after this alleged incident? I mean, so how did it start and how did it end?
It was essentially
Thank
he was
you.
supposed to come and help me. Our fights are constantly about he's supposed to come help me and he doesn't, or he says he's going to do something and he doesn't. Every time I go to address this with him, he doesn't want to hear it. He thinks that I should just be doing all of this. Another issue.
But how did that escalate to alleged physical violence, and then end with him prescribing you medication for an injury you allege he caused?
Unfortunately, I don't remember the particulars of this specific one, just because there was a few others following this. I believe the fight initiated about I need help with our son. I continually asked for help with childcare. I continually asked for his family to assist me with childcare. He just
Let me ask this: Have you guys been back and forth? So when you say you're in bed, is that because sometimes you attempt to reconcile and you guys have been back and forth in your relationship?
Are you referring to like us being?
Well, no, I'm just wondering. You're saying you got in an argument and got pushed out of bed. I'm not alleging you were, but that some guys, and just so you know, I've done this 25 years. I was a private divorce attorney before I came to the court. So scenarios tend to present, and one of the scenarios is that people can't decide if they want to be together or not, which is fine, you're adults, but it sounds like there's attempts to reconciliation there, or not defining potentially what you are at the moment or have been over time. Is that, am I wrong or right?
So it's kind of hard to explain, because I feel like in order to get the full picture of everything, I kind of have to go through the whole story
Yeah, so we don't have time to do that. So, but have you guys attempted reconciliation and been intimate, or maybe not reconciled or been intimate?
After
it's
October,
an easy answer, guys.
After October, we were not intimate. I told him that that because of what he did, that I needed to take a step back, and I continually tried to take a step back, and on numerous occasions, I had made it very firm and clear that I did not want to be in a relationship, and that if he wanted to try, that he needed to make some changes.
Okay, that's fine. And let me make a point, guys. You're adults, so there's no criticism of whether you have an intimate relationship or not, you're reconciling or not. You're adults. You can do what you want as long as you both are willing participants and working on that. I just want to make that clear. When I ask these questions, it's not a criticism. I'm just trying to figure out what your dynamic is and where you were and how you got here now. So Mr. Keikos, you've heard her. She said as recent as October, you slapped her several times. You pushed her out of the bed. She got a sprained ankle. You had to prescribe anti-inflammatory or medication for her, and that you were stealing her Adderall. Do you want to respond to those allegations?
Yes, of course. I mean, it wasn't a one-way street, and she'll make it as if I was attacking her. If anything, I was defending myself, pushing her off me, yes. Pushing her off the bed, no. Intentionally, no. She won't state the fact that she did train jujitsu and was a teacher prior to us meeting.
Okay, so let me clarify. You said it wasn't a one-way street. Does that mean you were both hitting each other?
I was getting her, Your Honor. She has a tendency to take my personal belongings because she knows when I get into an argument with her. So if she takes your belongings, what's your reaction? To stay away from her at that time. I'm usually trying to leave the house, so she will go after my phone and my keys, and then she will stand in front of the door, or she'll put me in a headlock, which was the last incident that I always was.
So are you alleging you? But have you ever? So the incident, she said you slapped her. Did you slap her?
No.
Did you push her out of the bed and she got a sprained ankle?
I pushed her off me and she fell off the bed and she did sprain her ankle.
So guys, I'm going to make a point here. You guys, I'm going to be blunt. You probably shouldn't be together if you're claiming she's a jiu-jitsu and assaults you and takes your stuff and puts you in a headlock, and you're responding in a way that was probably more aggressive than you've described to me. To be quite frank, probably means you guys should not be together.
No,
And so what you should do moving forward is focus on your child and being the best parents you can and stabilizing your dynamic. So, sir, are you using her Adderall or using Adderall to excess?
no, sir. All that is an accusation that is untrue. I go to a therapist and I have a psychiatrist. I am only taking the medication I am allowed to take. And then that is it.
Okay.
I've been accused of this by her numerous times to where she used it against me to keep me from my son. I would like to say one thing about child support, though.
Well, you got to make it quick.
Yes, sir. I have been giving her $1,000 a month for over 6 months now, plus giving her payment through work, which was another manner of making sure she has money, which was another.
So you have no problem. You have no problem continue to pay at least $1,000 a month. While
I have no problem with it as long as I get to see my son, sir. I used to come over her house every Tuesday.
Guys, make that. Wait.
I'm sorry,
guys. So, I take you guys. So you may not be familiar with the family court, but let me be clear. You cannot withhold support because you're not getting parenting time. Those are two mutually exclusive issues, as we say. And it can be frustrating, but you can't use financial coercion to force your point. Your child needs food, clothing, and shelter. You don't have to comment. I just want you guys to absorb what I'm saying. You have two very good attorneys that are well known to this court. They will explain any questions you have post-hearing. So, ma'am, do you know his parents and his sisters? Because it sounds like you made the point that you were asking him for childcare assistance, that his parents help you out, or his sisters. Would that infer that you know them and they're responsible people who could assist him with these things?
Not necessarily. I am familiar with them. Unfortunately, Fadi did not tell his family that we had a son until after he was born. So his mother particularly refused to meet me until May. And her and I kind of are able to communicate very little. As far as the sisters go, I did have a pretty decent relationship up until the last few months. I continue to try to go with the parenting time plan that we had agreed upon. However, Fadi had been increasingly threatening, demanding that he be present at the time of pickup and drop off, despite recurrent threats. And
what are the threats? Are they legal threats or physical threats of harm?
Both. The last incident that occurred December 30th, he threatened to kill me. He threw me down with my son in my arms. And
what date? What was that date again? You said this last
December 30th.
And what did he say exactly to you?
He told me that he was going to burn my house down. He would not leave. He told me that he accused me of taking his keys again. He refused to let me call his sister to pick him up. He refused to call an Uber to pick him up. He told me to sleep on the fucking ground like the dog that I am until I gave.
And when you say he threatened to kill you, that's by saying I'll burn the house down. Did he say I'm going to kill you, or he said I'm going to burn the house down, and that's what you're saying is the threat to kill you? Which obviously burning a house down is a big deal. So I don't want to minimize that, but I just want to be clear of the verbiage that was the dialogue.
I believe he pretty much said, "I'm going to kill you, bitch."
Mr. Keikos, do you want to respond? And we'll get where I'm going to cut to the chase here real soon. We're going to.
My son lives in that house, sir. I would not burn the house down.
Well, okay. I didn't ask if you would burn it. I said, did you tell? It's for the question of when you're mad. Did you say I'll kill you and I'll burn your house down?
No.
All right. So she's just a malicious person who's making this all up.
I can't.
So guys,
I think she's angry at me.
Well, you have to tell me.
Side with the lady.
So
I'm answering that question, sir. I mean, I did not say that to her. I did not say that to her. Parts of that night did happen. I was trying to leave. I did have to end up getting an Uber that night because I didn't have my keys. There was another moment where I was locked into her house where she was berating me and hitting me, and that was the night
right.
she put me in a choke.
So guys, okay. All right. So you're alleging she was violent to you. So
she almost
again, guys, when we heard it, sounds like.
Where do we think Judge Silverfox is going to go? I see he's swaying towards the lady. The lady's spewing some, I don't know, man. I kind of believe he's capable of this. I think she's a little over the top. This is a tough one. Judge Silverfox usually has some cut and dry stuff. He's got a tough one right here. Where are we going, chat? Where are we going?
guys, I'm going to reiterate. Sounds like you should not be in a relationship. Obviously, physical violence in any form is not acceptable and can be a crime. If you guys are resorting to physical violence because your relationship, it probably means you should not be together. Nobody should be putting their hands on each other in a violent way or a threatening way. And guys, if this is the dynamic you're saying, I don't know why either one of you would want to pursue a relationship. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that I'd strongly suggest, I'm not going to order it right now, that the two of you may go to a couple sessions to try to move beyond your relationship, get you guys to a point where you can respectfully dialogue with each other. And, you know, because right now feelings are hard. But you guys need to know the proper dynamic on which to communicate and move forward. And I would suggest you talk to your attorneys about potentially going to 1 or 2 sessions voluntarily to help you guys, you know, move forward in the future and know what's an appropriate dynamic and vet through some of your feelings towards each other, because you are going to have to be parents of your child forever, but your child's going to be 17 more years before done with high school. And you guys are going to have all kinds of events and things you want to do together. So ma'am, I'll ask you one last question because I do have multiple motions this morning. What is your biggest fear? He's saying he lives with his parents. They're going to help him out. He has sisters. He, you know, if he needs help, childcare, they're there. What is your biggest fear if I were to give him parenting time on alternate weekends?
My biggest fear is that I won't be informed if something is going on with my son, particularly as his family refuses to speak with me or inform me about my son or anything. It's become very, very hostile relationship. I also fear that he is just taking the time because of his family. I don't know if it's truly his desire, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, you got to give him the opportunity to step up as it is.
Absolutely. And I absolutely want that. And I absolutely have been pushing for him to take his time. But my biggest fear is the safety of my son while he is with him because of the excessive drug use.
Okay. So Mr. Keikos, what's your schedule?
My schedule is
Your work schedule?
I'm sorry? My work schedule?
Your
Yes,
work schedule.
I work Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and every other Saturday morning for 2 hours. So what we're requesting is the same time I used to have with her, which is Tuesday afternoons to Wednesdays, where I'm off completely. Those were days I was with her prior to Blake being born. We were hanging out those days from Tuesday night to all day Wednesday, and I am off on the weekends. Every other weekend I have a Saturday morning, which is 2 hours. So I have that.
And ma'am, are you currently working as a nurse, or what are you doing for work?
Unfortunately, not at this time due to Fadi firing me without my knowledge. So I'm still seeking employment.
Okay. And you guys, all right. And so you're off on Wednesdays?
Correct. And weekends.
All right. And counsel, is there anything either one of you guys want to add before I make my recommendation today?
I just would like to say that he should have the opportunity to be a father for this child, as he has in the past. But there's bogus allegations, and I think that the defendant is grasping to drag my client through the mud for something he's trying to exercise parenting time on. So we just ask the court to at least do that, to do the schedule that they have been doing, and proceed with a permanent facilitation and investigation for permanent parenting time in custody.
Referee, briefly, they haven't been doing that schedule. Dad's never had an overnight alone with this child. And I think that there are some concerns, and all we're asking, we're not looking to deny him his parent time. We're looking for the court to slow walk it and maybe just take it during the day. If the court is inclined to do an unsupervised parenting time, where he has him Wednesday during the day or Sunday for a few hours during the day. And then the child's quickly going to be 18 months old. There's going to be an investigation where we can further meet out some of these allegations. But I think it's in the best interest of the child to sort of gradually increase this. He's been with his mom every single night of his entire life. I would also ask, of course, referee, that they participate in either AppClose or Our Family Wizard, and perhaps exchange this child at a law enforcement agency. I hate to do that, but given some of the allegations that go back and forth. And then I just want a clarification, referee. Are you asking that they participate in like a co-parenting counseling?
Yeah, I mean, I was just suggesting that they go to counseling, the two of them, to defuse animosity, to move forward, to promote effective communication tools, those things, something of that nature. But I'm not going to make anyone do that. These are professionals and adults, but I'm just giving everyone a heads up. If these dynamics keep presenting before me or the court, I'm a big fan of that. If you want to endear yourself to the court, guys, do it voluntarily on your own initiative. And it says a lot to the court that you guys are willing to do those things to try to move forward. I'm not going to make you do that right now. You guys have two good attorneys who can give you a lot of advice as well as family attorneys in these dynamics. So things get expensive as well. So let me ask this. So I'm going to make my rec. And sir, you have no problem continue to pay $1,000 to her directly while I refer the issue of temporary support for a formal rec?
No problem. No problem, sir.
And does anyone have an objection to just have that paid directly right now, $1,000? How do you usually pay her the $1,000?
Judge fifth cousin. Who are we talking about?
Through
By check or what?
Oh, it's Zelling.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Through my bank.
Any objections, counsels, to $1,000 via Zelle once a month
none.
right now while we penned our investigation?
As long as it's consistent, just so we can show the documentation if one.
Is there any request for, and sir, what kind of money do you allege? Did you file taxes last year? What kind of income did you report?
For last year, I had my, they're not ready yet. I have my 21. I don't have my 22s yet.
So what do you think you made last year approximately? Netted, that you took, well, gross, that you took home for yourself?
Ballpark of 200.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, this is my first year.
You were giving her 1,000 or more than 1,000 a month?
I was giving her 1,000 plus paying for everything. I mean, that's a bold statement, a wide statement, but I was taking care of everything.
What is
food?
What is everything else?
His food, his car seats, 2 different ones, his strollers, his clothes, his bed.
Well, I'm talking about regular. So do you think $1,250 is a better number for what you've been giving her a month?
He paid for a car seat.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can I say one thing, referee?
Real quick.
Real quick. We have requested that we pick him up from a police station. We do have texts of that. Again, she refused. We have been trying to play.
Why do you guys need a police station?
Because she was refusing to drop Blake off if I was in the house, in my sister's house. She wanted me not to be inside of my sister's house when she was outside dropping him off.
Okay. Well, why can't you guys be in each? Okay, so I'm going to count on you guys listening to me and behaving yourself and being respectful. Exchanges are for the peaceful exchange of your child. They're not time to talk about your personal issues where you're mad, not mad, think someone's cheating, not cheating, treated you bad. It's hi, bye, here's your child. That's it.
It was my sisters interacting with her. I was inside of the house.
Sir, you're not here. I heard what you said.
Okay.
I'm just telling you both right now, you should be able to see each other, each other's presence, or then you need to go to therapy so you guys can be in each other's presence when you have a 1-year-old child and have to raise this child together.
I agree.
Every day's a new day. Take a breath, move forward. One of you may have wronged each other more than the other, but you're both going to have to take a breath, realize you have to move forward. And one of you may have been more at fault for this breakup and may have done some of these things. And, and if I got out my checklist, may have more negatives than the other, but you have a child together and you got to move forward. It's not easy right now because you're in the heart of it, but you got to. So my rec is going to be as follows. 1, on a temporary basis, plaintiff father should be awarded current time on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. In addition to alternate weekends from Saturday at 10 a.m. until Sunday at 3 p.m. Are you able to do this Wednesday or no? We need to know when this is if you're able to do it right away or not.
Absolutely.
And when is your next weekend you're working? When did you want to start your alternate weekends?
This weekend. I would start this weekend if I'm allowed. I'm not working.
And guys, so just so you know, you can't use self-help. So if you to pick up your child and she says no because they're filing objections or something, and I'll leave it up to your attorneys to tell you what I'm saying right now. Do not use self-help. Do not try to physically, guys, go into each other's homes. Do not try to hit your child. If someone's not following the order, you tell your attorney, and they continue to litigate on that matter. Do not put your hands on each other. I want to make clear, either one of you. Do not grab belongings. When I say put your hands, that means not touching people's belongings, keys, phones, whatever. If that's happened too, don't do it. All right. So your parent time should begin Wednesday, March 15th, with your first weekend this weekend as well. 2, on a temporary basis, plaintiff shall continue to pay defendant directly $1,250 per month in temporary child support via Zelle or another app as has been their practice. Is there any request for contribution towards attorney fees?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, obviously, she's not employed anymore. She can't possibly defend this action on her own at this time. So we are asking, subject to 3.206 for attorney fees.
Your Honor, it's not in the motion. It's not in the response. It's not in their motion. It's of course going to argue for her. I mean, come on.
Your Honor,
this is unbelievable.
3.206 says you can ask for
it's not even in the response.
So guys, stop. I didn't look at the motion. I thought it was probably in there. No, it's not. You guys can talk.
May I respond?
Well, counsel, it's not. Well, when I'm done. So counsel, it's not outrageous of this referee to ask. He makes $200,000 a year and she's unemployed. So Ms. Swatowski, you guys can talk about it or agree to it. They can file a motion based on the spirit of income. You should get it. It's not outrageous based on someone saying he brought $200,000 home and someone's unemployed for this. Stop. You don't get to criticize the court.
Your Honor,
you don't get to criticize the court.
Defendant.
Yeah, and you don't get to criticize the court. So zip it. I'm not arguing for the court. I'm stating the law. Is something about the law, Mr. Bear, that I'm saying wrong? That based on the spirit of income, someone who makes 200, someone who's unemployed. Okay, so fine. So I'm going to clarify. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't look through the motion. I, in error, thought it was probably in there. So now Ms. Swatowski can go file a motion and ask for a contribution based on the spirit of attorney fees, or you guys can work it out. I'll leave it there. I won't order it today because it wasn't requested. But if somehow you think that somehow the court rules regarding attorney fees based on the spirit of income don't apply, and you want to have a motion filed, so be it. Fine. We'll leave it there. It wasn't in the motion. I'll leave it.
I have a request. I'm sorry.
Ma'am, your attorneys get to make, what's your request, ma'am? Making my rep.
Just that the drop-off be at a police station in Sterling Heights.
Silver Fox is
Mr.
on it
Pecos,
today.
you want to drop off a police station. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm not a fan of police stations because it shows that you guys can't listen to the court and move forward in your relationship. But if you want it at a police station, let's do it.
I'd rather not. I agree with you, referee. It is in no sight, and it is not a pretty sight for a child to be raised.
No, your child's 1. Your child has infantile amnesia, 2 and below.
Fair
so
enough.
Your child's not going to remember any of this.
Can we? I don't mind. I will say yes to anything. Can we have it to a different police station where it's not an hour from me? Sorry.
Okay. Well,
it's 5 minutes from her house. It's an hour from my house.
Laura.
Well, if you were doing parenting time exchanges from her house, it'd still be an hour, right?
Correct. If we're going to meet somewhere else, then if we're going to agree to meet in a third-party spot, let it at least be somewhere closer to both of us. If it's not going to be at her house or her not picking him up at my house.
Guys, stop. Guys, I'm making my rep. We're done. Okay, parenting time exchanges shall occur at the Sterling Heights Police Department. You guys can talk your turns and file objections and go before Judge Dennings if you take issue. Just so you guys know, I'm a referee, not a judge. You can always object to my decision. At an objection hearing, the Honorable Terry Lynn Dennings may uphold my order or change all or part of it as the circuit court judge. You do not get in trouble for objecting. It is your right under the law. I don't get upset and the judge doesn't get upset because that is your right. All right, 4, the matters of parenting time. are referred to the front of the court custody department for facilitation. Well, let me ask this. Guys, I cannot force you to facilitate. I'm going to ask your attorneys. Under a domestic violence screening protocol, ma'am, you've alleged you've been a victim of domestic violence, so I can't force you to mediate or facilitate. Counsel, any thoughts, Ms. Witowski, about including that part of the process, facilitation?
I think that's appropriate, Your Honor.
So,
Unfortunately.
Ms. Green, when we say facilitate, it means that with your attorney present, you feel comfortable to freely express yourself. I wouldn't order you to do that if in any way you feel that you're scared or so much intimidated, Mr. Keikos, you can freely articulate what you want to your attorney. That's usually a beneficial process, and as your attorney's indicated, her support of it means she thinks it's beneficial. Do you have any problems, ma'am, sitting down with a facilitator to try to work this out? They don't have any binding power at that time.
No, I agree with my counsel.
All right, so the mayor's parenting time will refer to the front of the court. Do you guys want custody referred to or just parenting time? The schedule would be indicative of a soul with mom, I'm gonna say.
We might as well go ahead and refer it for custody as well.
Okay, so custody and parenting is referred for investigation, facilitation, and investigation recommendation. I'm gonna indicate that although alleging domestic violence, defendant wishes to participate in facilitation. And counsel, I'm sorry.
Referee, would that also include child support? And
I'm gonna do that separately as a temporary hearing now, so you guys can get in and we can calculate this. So I'm gonna indicate the matter of temporary child support is referred to the front of the court for referee hearing. So we'll get that going sooner than later. All right. Anything else, guys, I missed in this order that you guys want me to review? So we have temporary parenting time, we have a referral for custody and parenting time, contribution, direct payments for $12.50, and support pending a final or a temporary order on that issue.
just a couple of things, Your Honor. Would the court be inclined to have them use our family wizard or app close?
Sure. Parties shall use app close for communication purposes, absent a mutual agreement to use our family wizard. So guys, I'm gonna depend on you guys to talk to your attorneys. Our family wizard has some bells and whistles. It's a more complex. It costs $99 a month as compared to free. And I'm gonna let you guys talk to your attorneys. If you can't reach a mutual agreement to use our family wizard, you guys can use app close. If you do reach an agreement, I would ask that attorneys codify that in an email or letter to each other and verify that they've decided to use our family wizard. Okay.
And then I'm sorry, referee, there was just one other thing that I just need some clarification. I don't know if he's remitted that child support payment this month. So Alyssa?
He's not.
So Mr. Keikos, do you agree you owe that for this month?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Sure.
all right. So obviously if you can pay, the court's concerned that it gets paid during the month. Obviously you can split it up or pay it at the same time each month so she knows when it's coming. That's usually what the court would suggest. Or
Niz
hope.
Niz, what
But
up?
I'll let you pay that how you feel is appropriate. And again, you guys can talk to counsel about those comments.
Sure.
All right, anything else, guys?
Thank you.
All right, guys, so this is the temporary. Okay, so guys, this is a temporary order of the court. You have 21 days to object. No one objects within 21 days. This will remain the order of the court. We're going to email you a copy of this order and the objection procedure. Anything else, guys?
No,
Just,
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, just for I'd like to apologize to the board as well as to opposing
You
counsel
better
and the
apologize.
parties for behavior. I apologize.
Okay, no, you're fine. So guys, just so you know, I know both your attorneys really well. I have no personal issue with in Mr. Vera. I appreciate zealous representation, so I don't mind back and forth. I respect Mr. Vera and Ms. Witowski very much. I don't take it personal. If I get loud, guys, or Mr. Vera, that's what you pay your attorneys for. I appreciate that, but no need to apologize, counsel. I'm an advocate of zealous debate. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
I
right, with that,
accept
guys,
your
everybody
apology,
have.
Phil.
Thank you.
What's up, Mr.
All right,
Sumler?
guys, with that, guys, everybody, please
How you
have a
doing?
great day and stay healthy and safe. You'll talk to your attorneys on whether you want to object or not. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day,
everybody.
everybody. That's
Have a
been
great day.
hearing.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right.
All right, so I put my investigative Google hat on after that because I thought he was a judge also. When you're a friend of the court, the justice gives you special, the Chief Justice gives you special privileges to deal with complicated custody and parental matters. So that's why when you see it says Brian Nichols personal meeting room, he's not a judge. He is a referee. He's appointed special privileges and things to help out the court and then he gives recommendations. So basically, when there's things that are long and drawn out in court, thank you, James. He gives recommendations, and the court goes basically on his recommendations. There you go. Look at that. Teacher hat off, law hat on. Heather, thank you for the gift of memberships. That was a little long one, but it was fun. It got contentious. It had everything in it. Silver Fox is very entertaining. So let's go. Judge Dad was in fuego today. I posted the Sov Sit right after it aired. That's getting tons of views on YouTube right now. But there was also other things going on today. And this next clip, the next two defendants are fantastic. Let's sit back, relax. When Judge Dad is on, we are happy. Let's get rolling. And also, hello to all of the new people in the chat. We got 111 rolling. I'm a little early today. I'm trying out new times, trying everything. Let's get rolling. Thank you very much, Heather, again. Jamie, thank you very much. Let's get rolling. Let's do it to it. Judge Dad, here we go.
What happened to Hooks now? Robert Hooks. It's Robert, I'm sorry, Robert Moulton Hooks.
Yes.
233-142814. Your name?
Robert Hooks.
Did you talk to him yet?
No, I'm not.
I need you.
Kyle, I know nothing about what's going on.
I know. Well, here's, let me tell you. Mr. Moulton looks like he's under the influence.
I would agree.
I am not trying to start violations against him, but I am concerned. To say that I'm greatly concerned would be a massive understatement. I was told that he was given a PBT and registered zeros. His eyes are half the way shut. I'm told that he got here by Uber, right?
So basically, he looks like half of the people in my chat room nightly.
He informed me he took an Uber, Your Honor.
How did you get here?
Uber.
You're messed up. I don't want you to say a word.
You're messed up.
I don't want you to say a word. You look like you've either had 28 shots of tequila. Seriously, you've been over here sleeping. I've been watching you. You're scaring me. If it's not scaring you, I can promise you it's scaring me. I want to make sure we get you home where you don't hurt yourself or somebody else. We're not your babysitter. We're not taking you into custody. I'm not sending you for a drug test right now. I can't prove that you're under the influence. And I'm going to be fair with you, but I want to make sure that you do not hurt yourself or somebody else. Are you calling an Uber?
Yes.
You're right, Billy. Took the
Look,
glasses.
this could be a one-sided conversation. Whatever you're using is not Miller Lite. I don't want you to say a word. You better get yourself some help. Don't come back in this courthouse like this. Next time he comes in, what's his scheduled date, you know?
He was here today to do the screening and assessment, and he was unable to complete it.
You're
Your Honor.
coming back within 3 days. I want you to note everything I told him. You're coming back to do your screening and assessment. I don't want to address this. I don't want to take him into custody. I don't feel like I have the proof. I don't want to get the proof. In other words, I think it's inappropriate for me to start changing bond conditions right now without any proof.
Monica.
I'm very confident this gentleman is severely under the influence. I'm afraid as to what's going to happen. You're gonna figure out a way to get back here in 3 days, and then I will address this. You can write everything on the file. I need your word you're not gonna drive. If you were to drive, you're gonna get another one. You get another one, I'm gonna give you the maximum here, okay?
Okay.
That's it. That's how I'll handle it. So you can talk about when he's going to come back, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Dad only likes being inebriated when you're around a charcoal fire, barbecuing sausages, Miller Lite in one hand, and the woman pouring tequila with limes and salt in the back. A courthouse is no place for drinking, sir. It's in the backyard with family and friends. Be responsible. Leave your keys at the door. Now, where's the scotch? Let's roll. He don't have white Reeboks. Judge Dad has the Nike extra wide or New Balance. There's no way. He's not even Reebok. He is the Nike Dad shoes, extra wide, or New Balance. That's it. Maybe Pumas. And when he goes out, he wears Sperry's. He is a Sperry guy. Definitely wears cargo shorts.
Mr.
All right, here we go.
Gonzalez, you have the $500? Okay, so he can post the bond. Stop playing with us. Hope you do.
All right, so guys, help out Elizabeth in the chat. The one time we need to see this guy's face, unfortunately, Judge Dad, they have the wide zoom lens for the defendants. It was the defendant. He came in sloshed. The attorney said it. They all agreed. He must have been hammered when he walked in. Penny loafers, sometimes.
You don't want to do that. You want to get this reduced if you can. You don't want these points. I'm not saying they'll do it, but it can't hurt you. You got to stop this nonsense.
Looking at legal stuff. What up, girl?
Holy athlete. If you told me you were 3 years and 3 months, I might understand this. You have to walk down with my court officer, post the bond. They'll give you your date. You'll come back. Good luck.
Someone throw up legal stuff's
Where do you live?
link.
I didn't know I was coming to see the judge. I thought I was okay with it, so see you by the time.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I need that Gonzalez. What's Thomas file? Unless you have it. I didn't.
I have it, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I thought you were leaving with it.
No.
Grim, there is no way he's propane. He's charcoal all the way.
Court officer. People against Thomas. Excuse me. People against James Joseph Thomas, 22B 141019. I need a probation violation sheet.
Got it, legal.
Your name, sir?
James Joseph Thomas.
Mr. Carmen?
Michael A. Carmen, P73824, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, multiple charges here. Failure to attend his probation visit October 3 and 14. Failure to attend the court work program September 24 and October 8. Call Beth. Failure to pay fines and costs is ordered. Failure to submit the weekly testing is ordered. Failing to clear all warrants. How is he going to proceed?
Your Honor, he is going to enter guilty plea to counts 1 through 3 and not guilty on 4 and 5.
He wants to have a hearing on those?
You got it, Kitchen
As to
Court.
whether or not he submitted the testing weekly. and
Kitchen
whether or
Court,
not
throw
it
up your
clears
link anytime,
warrants.
Kitchen. Anytime, Kitchen. Always throw up your link.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so if you plead guilty as to counts 1 through 3, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 93 days. The reason is that you have been, you have absconded. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm pleading guilty to though.
He's gonna ask you.
Oh, okay.
So to the charge that you failed to attend your scheduled probation visit on October 3 and 14 of 22, how do you plead?
Guilty, yeah.
Did you fail to attend on those days?
Yes, sir.
Count 2 that you failed to attend the court work program September 24 and October 8. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to attend the court work program on those days?
Yes.
Count 3 that you failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered. How do you plead?
I paid some of the fines.
To the charge you failed to pay your fines and costs as you were supposed to, as ordered. How do you plead?
Guilty.
You failed to do that?
Yes.
For read up on the Discord.
And he wants to have a hearing as to counts 4
What do
and
you mean,
5.
Heather?
Yes, Your Honor, I could give an explanation if the court would like to hear it, or?
Anybody forced you to plead guilty as to counts 1 through 3?
No, sir.
I'll accept those pleas. I'll enter not guilty pleas to 4 and 5. Ms. Wild, your name?
Elizabeth Wild.
Where has he been, Mr. Carmen? You know this is not my favorite. Having
Your
people
Honor,
walk
understands.
in months
Mr.
later.
Thomas has had a number of serious health problems. He was diagnosed with Hep C back in the fall, resulted in him having to stay in behavioral hospital. He thus took some medications to deal with the Hep C, then ended up having kind of wiped out the effects of the psych meds. So he has been having some mental health issues, Your Honor. And also, secondly, he's got a ongoing CPS case in Toledo. Now, that involves the mother of 2 of his children, who the allegations are against, but he has to be a central participant in that case. So that has been a big obligation with him. As far as the drug testing, he has been doing it via that CPS case in Toledo at Centra Drug Testing. He's also been testing at his doctor's office, Dr. Sod's in Dearborn. As far as CPS case also, Your Honor, there is a final pretrial tomorrow in the Lucas County Juvenile Court at 11:30.
The CPS case, I thought you said just the mother. Did I misunderstand? Who's the defendant on that?
The mother.
But you're not.
No, I'm in the process of getting custody of him because of her mistakes.
So the judge ordered
me to get rid of the warrant.
No, but I mean, the judge ordered you to test as well?
Yeah, I test randomly once a week.
I see. Why haven't you been here the whole time? Since I think your sentencing was scheduled back in October, your show cause.
I've got no excuse.
Since October?
I was
Put a
sick.
gold star on his forehead, will you please? At least he's telling the truth.
Yes, sir. I should have came in sooner.
It's wild. What do we do?
Yes.
Yes,
I didn't
Your
hear
Honor.
that.
As far as looking at Mr. Thomas's case, they opened up the warrant. All the issues on the show cause. The other issue I have, there was a note in the file from Wood County. He does have some new offenses, but I need to take a look at those. He picked up several new offenses.
Judge,
down
that
in
is
Wood County
a
in
golfer.
Toledo. While he was on probation, I need to take a look at these dates. Some of them are from October of 22. And when I say several, upwards of about 50 counts of a variety of offenses. So I do want to indicate it appears he does have some new and some outstanding issues in
What kind of cases?
they appear to be anywhere from grand theft,
That's not me.
property as a firearm. I have
It's
to.
not me. It's a different. This has already happened once in Toledo. They put me on
Discord's in the
case with
link,
someone
guys.
else. It's not me. I got a comment.
It is the best lit
I've never even been in
Discord
Wood County.
on LawTube.
So he does have really ties to Toledo. This is where his CPS case is. So
That
we
case
have-
is in.
Hang on, let her finish.
So again, I do need to take a look at that and run his out-of-state record. I don't know if the clerks had run his out-of-state record. But in receiving this from a Mr. McRitchie out of Wood County, they're indicating that it is him. But again, there's a variety of charges, Your Honor, mostly dealing with false information, petty theft, theft of a grand theft with property of a firearm. It looks like he pled to some. And at the time, some were pending, but again, that warrant was out at the time. I met with Mr. Thomas, got him fully instructed. He missed his first or his follow-up appointment with me October 3rd. I did reach out to him again in order to get him in compliance. He did not appear for that second appointment. That's kind of where the show cause comes from. He may have started testing with CPS. I don't know that, but he certainly is not compliant with his weekly testing since the time of his sentencing. The probation department has received nothing in regards to any type of treatment, any type of testing. He basically, as you indicated earlier, absconded, and we haven't heard from him as well.
Wood County's not me. I've never even been to Wood County. She's saying that I pled guilty to cases or whatever. I've never even been to court down there.
No, she didn't say you pled guilty. She said new warrants were issued.
And she said I pled down to something.
There is pleas in here, Your Honor. Again,
It's not possible. I've never even been arrested in Toledo.
If I can speak now. I haven't had an opportunity to run his out-of-state record to take a look and see it. He's indicating it's not him. I haven't, but Wood County believes that our case is him, and they're notifying us that it's him.
What do they want? They don't want us to take him into custody, do they?
No, they wanted to let us know that he pled to new offenses in December of 22, and he had pending cases from November.
I was in a psych hospital the entire December of 22. I was in the Samaritan Behavioral Health, December 22. But that's Wood County's not me. I'm just gonna say that. Never had a pistol charge, never had a violent case, nothing like that.
Fair enough. What are we gonna do here? Let's think this through.
I got a child custody hearing tomorrow morning. I'll show up for whatever. I'll turn myself in and go to jail. I'll do whatever I gotta do, but I gotta be at this hearing tomorrow, and I can't have this warrant over my head. And I got letters from the lawyer in Toledo right now on her phone. If these cases were me, the lawyer in Toledo would know about it. They would be saying
Do you have
something.
$250 with you?
No, not till Friday. I get paid on Friday. I got a full-time job.
Yeah. You haven't been here in 5 months, 6 months.
I understand.
I hope somebody can come up with some money. Who's this with you?
Macintosh. She's only got $100 today.
How much do you have?
Nothing. I get paid Friday. I got a trial date tomorrow morning in Toledo. I live right here in Brownstown. I swear I'll come right back with the money Friday. Now, I've submitted the drug testing. I'm doing drug tests once a week. I absolutely couldn't pay anything until Friday, and I have to go to work after this. I'm already taking tomorrow off.
Slow down. Well, maybe you shouldn't have waited so long.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, so you've ignored us, and now I'm supposed to drop everything, and let's figure out a way to help you.
No, you're not supposed to drop everything.
John, can I make a proposal?
I'd be glad to listen.
Could we maybe adjourn this until Friday? Mr. Thomas will bring the money as ordered then.
I'm not gonna be here Friday.
Monday?
No.
I'm not gonna be here Monday.
No.
June? Pardon? In June?
I'll come back, I promise. I get paid
What's that
Friday.
supposed to be? That's a weird attempt to be funny. I'll be here Tuesday.
Okay, this is the next date I'm looking for, Your Honor.
I'll be here.
Just
I can't have any warrants on it because of this child custody case. I'm trying to get my kids back.
Stop. You stop.
Yes, sir.
I'm setting $100 cash bond. You're gonna have to figure out, maybe your friend will loan it to you, maybe she won't. $100 cash.
We'll pay
I'll
it.
set it for next week. I'll let you get the date. I want you to check into the other charges. In the meantime, I want you to bring test results. You bring the test results. You acquire test results from your physician.
Okay.
I'll make a note. I'm accepting the pleas to counts 1 through 3. Defendant pled not guilty as to count 4. So we're gonna have a hearing. So sentencing hearing. Hearing on counts 4 and 5. Linda, give me a date or somebody down there. I'm gonna set it for March the 22 at 8:30. Are you here? What day are you here next week?
Your Honor, I just remembered you'll be out of town this weekend, and I'll be out of town next weekend at the same destination as you. So next week, I'm not here on Thursday or Friday, but I'm here Monday for this. I'm sorry. No, I'm here Tuesday.
Let's set it March the 21st at 1 p.m. A week from tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Maybe they all have a wedding
Am I
or
safe
something.
still?
I mean, I think so. I wanna let them.
I do have to be in 27th District Court.
1 o'clock motion and then a 2:30 probation violation sentence on that day.
Well, you're in front of me that day. Let's just set it at 8:30.
Even Judge Dad Smalltalk is masterful. He's the best. He's great.
21 at 8:30.
Your Honor, if I could add, Ms. McIntosh has copies of all the drug test results on her phone.
She can deal with Ms. Reynolds on that.
Go ahead and email her those.
Yes. Anything else?
It would be beneficial if he's claiming that he was in any kind of treatment, Your Honor. Again, we don't have any proof of outpatient counseling indicating that this is what hindered him from complying with probation, perhaps proof of his psychiatric.
I'm an outpatient and inpatient.
Bring me the proof of that. Bring proof of that, okay?
Okay, well.
All right.
What? How could you be in
So you
both?
gotta post $100. My court officer walk down with you. Good luck.
This guy's a hot mess. I'm in inpatient and outpatient. I'm in there right now. How could you be in? Maybe he means IOP, but oh my god, I can't. Oh my god, I can't. All right, here we go. Oh, we got J Mag El Paso. Doesn't disappoint. Here we go. Judge Oon.
From County Criminal Court number 2, apparently that PR Reynolds, basically he failed to report in October, also failed to show up for a court hearing of judges' conferences on 2/1 of this year. Alright, so the permanent attorney is the public defender's office. Mr. Keeper from the public defender's office is going to seek to try and persuade me to reduce your bonds and to give you another PR bond. After that, I'm going to hear from the prosecutor, Mr. Hoffman. Then I'm going to make my decision as to what happened to you, but go ahead, Mr. Keeper.
Mr. Parker, I know we talked yesterday, but none of the information that you gave me was saved, so I'm gonna have to ask you again, okay?
Why was it recorded on a recorded line if it's not saved in the sheriff's department? I thought every line that you call from 911 or the sheriff.
Sir, I'm just gonna have to ask you questions again, okay?
19 EST in America before Donald Trump became president. And that's
Sir, how old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay, and are you a US citizen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you'll be living at 2129 East Glen here in El Paso?
It's taped off, yes.
Okay, and it says here that you've lived there over 13 years, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've lived here in El Paso over 13 years as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you single, divorced, widowed?
Single?
Okay, do you have any dependent children, sir?
No.
Okay. Do you have friends that live here in El Paso?
No.
Do you have family that live here in El Paso?
Yes.
What family members live here in El Paso?
I went to State Sanchez. They said, Michael J. Parker is my dad.
So your dad lives here?
School teacher, and Hernica is my mom.
Okay, your dad and your mother live here in El Paso? Were you working prior to being arrested?
I didn't hear you.
Were you working prior to being arrested?
No, I came from Main Street from a meeting exam.
Okay, no, that's okay, sir. You weren't working. Thank you. Do you have any money to post towards the bond?
Is that true?
Sir, do you have any money to post towards the bond?
Huh?
Do you have any money to post towards the bond?
Trying to get back to the other question before you asked them. Is it Main Street? In Spanish, it's called working. That's why.
That's what question you're asking, sir, but do you have any money to post towards bond?
If people can't tell you the truth, no, I don't have any money to post on.
Okay, thank you, sir. Judge, we'd ask that you reduce and/or PR response.
All right. So, Mr. Barrera, apparently he got a PR bond on 9/5 of last year.
I don't know
Also,
what
he stopped
that
reporting
was.
on 10/12 of last year. Did he report at all?
Huh?
I'm talking to the PR bond officer, not to you, sir. Just right now, I'm talking to Mr. Barrera. He's gonna tell me about your performance of PR bond, which obviously wasn't very good, but he's gonna tell me what happened.
Because he reported for September, but he did not report for October.
And you haven't seen him since then, right?
Yes.
All right, and apparently he also was scheduled for a court hearing on the 1st of February this year. He failed to show up. Oh. I think you guys need to go take this up with Judge Sanchondo, okay? The question finding that is going to be denied for a day, prior non-compliance.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir, thank you.
The next one will be Isaac.
Okay, next one out of Amarillo, and then I'm gonna end it with Judge Webster today. She had this guy all day just doing the craziest things in Zoom. So we're gonna get one defendant from Amarillo. Just we always got to put ketchup, mustard. Now we got relish. We have everything going on today. These are like, did you ever read the book The Day the Crayons Quit? These guys look like the crayons who quit. I can't. It's just the angle and everything. It's all right, so let's get this, and then we're going to go to Webster.
What the situation is. Mr. Holcomb, come on up here. Oh, I said Mr. Holcomb.
Look at Mr. Holcomb.
Mr. Booker. Mr. Holcomb, are you thinking clearly today?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, early this morning, you were arrested for public intoxication. You look like you were in a fight, which I read the report. It looks like from the report you were in a fight. I just want to make sure you're thinking clearly before we start talking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So public intoxication is a Class C misdemeanor punishable by fine only. It's up to $500. I'm interested, you gave that apartment where the offense occurred, you gave that as a location of where you live, yet I have an address on Mirror and an address on Laguna Vista. Are you staying at the apartments?
Yes, ma'am. Those are old addresses. My last address was on there that I retained for 3 years.
I see. Okay. Well, sir, you can plead not guilty, no contest, or guilty to this public intoxication. You get 1 day jail credit. So if you plead guilty, your fine and court costs would be $484. I'd give you the 1 day jail credit. Your balance would be $334. You're also welcome to enter that not guilty plea. I'll set a bond. You can come in here, and then when you're maybe, not bleeding.
Not bleeding.
What do you want to do?
Not good.
Okay. I'm going to set what's called a PR bond. I don't show that you've ever had any citations here. Have you had anything here? Okay. We'll give you a PR bond. You have to be here by the date and time listed on the bond. That's probably 2 o'clock tomorrow. Probably. But look at that bond and make sure you get here by the date and time listed on the bond. I hope you get feeling just a little bit better. You look like you're not going to be feeling good today.
That's
okay. The
saying it
nicely.
nicely.
A map of directions to our court. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, all these ketchup and mustards were quite boring, but we're gonna go to Judge Webster. Here we go. Now, what is going on with Mr. Allen here? And we actually get all the way. I speed it up. I have fun with this clip, and then just when I thought it didn't get any better, his actual voice and what comes out of his mouth, my jaw dropped. So let's see all of his actions, and then we will sum it up with his case, which was literally the last case for Webster in this hearing. So here we go.
All right.
Let's see, Savannah, what can you give us for that?
Our next available is May 8th.
Oh, and before we get started, do we like the new Webster camera angle? I'm digging the Webster camera angle. She should get that a little. And then she went no glasses today. Did you see that later on in the day? She was no glasses. I'm feeling it, Webster. She's the OG, baby. Here we go. All right, let's look at Alan here. All right.
Work for you?
Touching the screen. We don't have to listen to the court case at all at this point.
I don't.
Just watch what he's doing.
We can try. Where can we squeeze that in April?
So, fixing the
I
camera.
know you're gonna say nowhere, but if you could do some magic, Savannah, I appreciate it.
We can.
What's up, What's up, Kessler?
Hey, May will work. I just checked with my client.
All right, what was that May date again?
May
8 at
I'm gonna
9.
move
Mr.
out of the
Cragman,
way.
your counsel will need to be back here at that time. Is there anything else from the state
No, Your Honor.
and from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Very well, we'll be in recess on Kreiderman. Mr. Kreiderman
Oh, Tommy,
is
much more than eating.
excused. And Mr. Stein, do you have anyone else on today's document?
Two more. I've also got Mr. Rummel. That would be 22 TR 4168. He is also seated behind me.
Very well, we'll take up on the record 2022 TR 4168, State of Kansas versus Nolan Howard Rummel. Appearances.
Your Honor, Brett Sweeney on behalf of the state.
May it please the court, John standing on behalf of Mr. Rummel, who's seated behind me in my desk.
And how does your client, Mr. Rummel, wish to proceed?
Actually, we're having the same concern in this case. We could continue it to the same date. We're looking for a video. Not sure why they're not showing up. And also to work on some plea negotiations.
All right, we shall set this over then. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
We'll set this to May 8th at 9 a.m. Anything further on this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Then we'll be in recess on Rummel. Rummel is excused at this time. And Mr. Strain, who's your next one?
It's going to be Ms. Twain Kaufman, 22 TR 3262.
Thank you. We are now on the record in 2022 TR 3262, State of Kansas versus Pamela Margaret Twain Kaufman. Please announce your appearances.
Your Honor, Brett Sweeney on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, thank you on behalf of Ms. Twain Kaufman, who is also present via Zoom.
And how does she wish to proceed, Mr. Strain?
Your Honor, we anticipate they will be plead guilty to counts 1 and 2.
All right, let's go.
Provide a copy of
You
the
speed it up.
And I believe I sent the completion of treatment documentation.
I think it's bacon. It's bacon, guys. It's bacon.
Okay, go ahead. You have more to say. I didn't interrupt.
My understanding is upon a plea to both counts, the state was going to request minimums. They did
What is
not
he
meet
doing?
no objection to the Wichita Conviction Program in lieu of 48 hours. This is a second DUI, so we're going to have a
He's
48 hour
enjoying
subsequent
every
hours
piece,
on
every
hours.
morsel of
We
that.
also wanted a DUI victim account, and he was Mr. Twain was going to check to see if there was going to be any restitution from the vehicle that was hit. My client had insurance. I'm assuming her insurance took care of
Who
it.
eats like that, exactly?
Mr. Swing, anything else to say before we proceed with the plea?
Your Honor, all that's consistent with my negotiations with Mr. Stein as far as the minimums on the DUI. I would see the information that we have. I can't definitively say that there's not.
So now he starts doing other things. Here we go. So now he's eating. All right. So now
To a trial on these charges.
I'm jumping for you guys.
The states,
Let's get to it. Here we go. Let's get to it.
you didn't leave any note telling any, was it someday in September?
All right. So now.
Execution for
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wells,
Sweeney on behalf of the state.
22.
Brian Jones.
Okay. Now we're drinking water. Here we go.
Jones, well, on the record.
What?
In 2022 CR 274, State of Kansas versus Brian Keith Jones. On today. We will now be on the record. The attorney did get extra time.
Ew.
Discovery.
No, he's biting his nails. I
We
can't.
told the defendant might in November apply for diversion. Then we were back here July 9th. Defendant will apply for diversion and ask for additional time. And now we are into March, looking at possibly setting this over till May. Mr. Johnson, how likely are
Could you imagine him doing this in Brian's court? Oh my God.
Your Honor,
I recently entered my appearance on February 9th. Another attorney at the firm who's no longer with us had this case prior to me. Based on my understanding and my discussions with Mr. Gonzalez,
Or
I
Manning,
believe
yeah.
he'd be eligible for diversion. I did have one question. Are we wanting to do
I
that
think he's
in
high
person?
too, because he starts to like nod a little, and he's like he's itchy.
Well, I'll have Savannah track down a copy of the bond. If you want to just tell me what it says.
Look at
Mr.
him.
Sweeney.
Oh, now he's hitting his puffer, Mrs. Puffer.
Just sent that over
Love
to
it.
you, but
Okay, well, I can look at it then, no problem. And they went over to Wichita, is it? Is this that lady?
No,
Okay.
that was a.
And there's the nose pick. There it was. That was a nose pick. Disgusting. All right, now let's go to his actual case. Ugh. Imagine what he must cough up. Ugh.
Okay, there's no R bond, December 18th,
Ew.
you said, for $500 to appear in March.
What is he doing? Meditating?
Yeah, just.
Look, see, he's high. I think he's high.
Savannah, if you
Like doped out. I don't think that's
need
weed.
to do with the sheriff's office to get that bond on file.
He ate too much, so it's not meth.
To issue a bond
Come on.
forfeiture with a
Look at
next
him.
warrant for $1,000. Looks like that last bond was OR, and she's from Leon, Kansas, so shouldn't hopefully be too much trouble to find her, although she apparently didn't do what I told her to do previously, so maybe it will be. So, that is the order. Any questions about that, Savannah or Mr. Sweeney?
So bond forfeiture next one, what was the new amount? Just a conversion or?
$1,000 cash or surety.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, what was that case number?
That case number is it's BU 2023.
Picked his nose, picked his eyes, ate bacon, smoked, hit his puffer.
An AMY traditional Sweeney for the state, and Mr. Allen in person.
Oh, now he's making nod. Now he's nodding. See, this is when he was nodding a little.
Under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Mr. Pink Eye.
And Mr. Allen, your first appearance was way back November 4th. And
Okay, now we're gonna go to his actual. We're gonna go to his actual case.
count 1, possession of marijuana.
I plead guilty.
And is anyone making you enter this plea today by any kind of threats or promises other than your plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
And you understand that with this plea, you are giving up your right to a trial as well as your right to appeal conviction?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, now the state says you possessed marijuana on June 21st of 2022 in Butler County, Kansas. Is that what you're pleading guilty to?
Yes, Your Honor.
And where were you when you possessed this marijuana?
I was in the back of someone's vehicle that she ended up taking us on a high-speed chase, and she wouldn't let us out.
Okay, and where were you in the vehicle when the chase started?
So he's there for weed possession during a high-speed chase. He was probably on Credence and Bishop's show on Police. We got a chase. Are you kidding me? He was on a high-speed chase?
I was in the back.
We are so boring, guys. Our lives are boring.
Seat behind the driver.
And where was the marijuana?
It was in my sock.
Okay.
So it was clearly
Thank
mine.
you, Heather.
It was clearly mine. It was clearly on me.
Welcome,
I took
Leanne.
responsibility for it. Also, too, my girlfriend, she was in the car with us, but they're trying to hit her with possession of marijuana, but she didn't have it on her. It was mine.
Okay.
So I just want to get that cleared up because she has court coming up too. So I just want to get that cleared up so that way she don't get hit with the same charges that I'm pleading guilty to.
I see. Oh.
What is he, 15, putting his weed in his sock?
Okay, but you clearly had marijuana in your stock and you knew it was there.
Yes. I clearly knew it was there and it was mine.
And it was June 21st, 2022?
Yeah, I believe somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay, now I need jurisdiction here. So you were in Butler County. Where were you in Butler County when this where was the car in Butler County when the high-speed chase started?
It actually started in Sedgwick. It started in Sedgwick County. We ended in Butler County. I don't quite remember where it ended or whatnot, but all I know is it ended in Butler County. We had no tires left on the vehicle.
Okay. So,
Your Honor, if I may,
please.
Pursuant to the affidavit, paragraph 5, quote, at 02:44 hours, deputies were able to get the Trailblazer stopped in the area of West High Street and North Olive Street, Leon, Butler County, Kansas.
In Leon, Butler County?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that was a long high-speed chase, wasn't it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, like she wouldn't let us out of the vehicle.
Well, for purposes of this plea, though, you were guilty of possessing marijuana throughout that drive from Wichita to Leon?
Yeah.
I assume it started in Wichita. Maybe I shouldn't presume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it started in Wichita.
Okay. All right. Well, I will accept your plea, sir, and find you guilty of count 1, possession of marijuana.
Okay.
And I will dismiss for your plea agreement the count 2 paraphernalia. Mr. Regier, recommendations for sentencing?
Ugh.
Your Honor, pursuant to plea negotiations, the state is not recommending a fine. The state is recommending 120 days underlying, 12 months reporting probation, as well as a drug and alcohol evaluation. And there is the issue of KBI restitution, which my understanding does apply in this matter.
Okay. So you're recommending 120 days, no fine, but $400 KBI, court costs of $158. Okay, Mr. Patterson, recommendations?
Judge, we would ask the court to adopt the recommendations. I did have one question. I don't believe I received a copy of the KBI analysis. Are we certain that that was completed and received by the county attorney's office?
Mr. Regier, can you address that?
That's what I said, Kitchen. The same thing I said. 120 days for weed in your sock? I don't know. Because the evading, nothing came up. This is purely just the weed. I mean, Kansas is tough on weed laws. I mean, 4 months? I don't know. Something else had to be going on here. But they didn't say the evading, though. She didn't say evading, right? I didn't hear that. It was all for the possession.
Yes, Your Honor, and I do have a
okay, they dropped it? Okay.
report in the file, as well as the $400 fee under KSA 28176.
All right, so if you could make sure you get a copy of that over to Mr. Patterson,
KT,
please.
send me your
Sounds like, Mr.
address
Goodell,
in
you're
Discord.
not making any issue whether it was marijuana or not. You're pretty confident it was?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it was marijuana. It wasn't no synthetic drug or nothing like that. It was marijuana. And it wasn't very much. It was maybe at least a gram of that.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Patterson, did you have anything else you wanted to say on the issue of sentencing?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cadell, at this time, I am going to order that you receive a sentence of 120 days in the Butler County Jail. Credit for any time you may have served. I don't know if you did or not before you made bond. 120 days.
I'm working on that
with credit.
Sound effect.
You will not be given a fine, but you do, under Kansas law, have to pay the KBI lab $400. They call it restitution.
Grim.
And your court costs will be $158. They'll tell me what kind of work you do.
As of right now, I am currently unemployed.
Ready? Here we
How
go.
long have you been unemployed?
About 5 years.
And are you unable to work physically?
No, I'm able to work. It's just my background tends to, really not let me get a good job.
You're saying you have a felony background that interferes?
Oh, yeah. I got quite a few felonies on the record. I mean, about 32 of them. But, you know, that's...
Yes. 32 felonies.
No here, no there.
You have 32 felonies on your record?
Yeah, when I came from California, I had 28 felonies and 2 strikes.
Okay. I'm going to waive your attorney fees since you're not employed, but I'm still going to order that you get out there and get a job as a condition of probation. So
yeah,
keep trying, at least a part-time, Taco Bell or someplace like that. I want you working, doing something constructive with your time.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, your probation will be for 12 months. It will be supervised by court services. So that's going to add a $60 probation supervision fee.
Okay.
All standard conditions will apply. And you're going to be expected to pass UAs and hair follicle tests if they think you need them. You'll need to get a drug and alcohol evaluation. Let's see how big a problem, if any, you have. And if you have a problem, we need to address that. I'm going to order that you pay at least 1/12 of the total due each month.
Okay.
So make sure you're out there finding something legal and productive to make at least 1/12 of the total, and you're looking at $400, $550, $8. Yeah, so make sure you get that taken care of. Call your probation officer as soon as you leave here.
Do you have a number for the probation?
I do. It is 316 322 4153.
4153.
Right, and they'll tell you.
Do I ask for anybody specific?
No, just tell them you're there to report for probation. Give them your case number of BU 2022 CR 221.
With Chad.
Case number BU
for Butler, and then 2022 for the year it happened. CR for criminal, and then 221. You were the 221st case filed, so now you know our system. Okay.
All right, thank you.
And make sure you do everything you're supposed to, because you don't need any more time against you.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Oh, and I'm going to order that you stay away from the people in that car that was in that chase. Mr. Regier, do you know the names, or can you look those up?
One of them is my girlfriend right now, currently, Sarah Grapper.
Is she the one that's on charges?
She's the passenger that was in the back.
Hold on, sir. Judge, I would just tell the court that yes, there's a 22 CR 415 case where she is charged with the exact same charges that we just finished here with. I am appointed, but I need to withdraw, Judge. I believe I'll have a conflict. She's currently set for April 3rd is what I've been told. So, Judge, just to make sure we're all set for April 3rd, if the court will allow me to withdraw on that case and have a new counsel appointed. Thank you.
Okay, Savannah, could you make a note both in her file and his that on this date, Mr. Patterson is allowed to withdraw because of a conflict? And please, before that court date, as soon as you can, appoint Joshua Andrews, if he can take the case for that April date. And is it not already a condition, counsel, that they have no contact as co-defendants in a drug case?
I have not looked at the bond conditions, Judge, so I do not know.
Yeah, they didn't mention anything like that to me when I bonded out or nothing like that.
Well, I'm thinking if you read your bond sheet, I think that's a standard condition.
I'm pretty sure my bondsman would have told me about that if it was.
His bondsman's his best friend.
Because she was there when they bonded me out the second time.
Why'd they have to bond you out a second time?
Because I missed court. And then
picked his nose again.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Regier.
I have received the appearance bond that appears to have been signed dating back December. It does say under condition of bond, quote, the defendant shall not have contact with co-defendants.
He's a VIP customer, Kitch.
And what number is that? Is that
no, Rich.
Standard condition 3 or
5
4?
minutes
Let me
from
see.
New York.
I believe it's standard condition 3, they aren't
One, two,
numbered
three.
per se,
Okay.
but that's it.
Yes, if you'll go back, Mr. Cadell, and look at your bond, your appearance bond that you and Hot Rod Bail Bondsman signed, Kelly Nail or Kelly Pickering, it says conditions of bond, and then it's got 1, 2, the third one down, as Mr. McGear said, the defendant shall not have contact with co-defendants directly or indirectly. So it sounds like you're telling me that you and your co-defendant have been violating that condition of your bonds. So I don't want you to answer that any further. Don't say anything further on that, as I'm sure your attorney would say. But don't have any more contact until the court approves otherwise.
Okay.
All right, because that'll get you in violation of
And
probation.
don't pick your nose in
and that'll
court.
get her revoked on her bond.
Best part's coming up right about
So
now.
we'll let it go with that. Anything else I need to cover, counsel, on this case?
Two more items, Your Honor.
Okay.
First, I believe the court had ordered a payment schedule of 1/12. Does the court wish to set a beginning date on that?
Yes, I do. Let's have the first payment due the end of April, the last business day of April 2023, and the last business day of each month thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor. And secondly, I'm assuming that it is still considered proper courtroom etiquette to not eat during a court hearing.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Mr. Cadell, I didn't see you eating.
Yeah, I kind of
I saw some other things that were inappropriate.
Oh yeah, smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette, eating, lifting your shirt, and scratching. Let's remember, we're in a court of law, whether it looks like a traditional courtroom or it's not.
Yeah, I apologize to everybody.
Yeah, if I hadn't been distracted, I probably would have gotten onto you a little more about that. So thank you, Mr. McGear, for bringing that up. Anyone else on here?
That OG Puff, baby.
Mr. McGear, anything further?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, we got 120 in the room. Bonus clip time. I'm going to give you a twofer.
Mr. Cadell, thank you for your cooperative spirit, and I hope that you're just as cooperative with your bondsman, your probationer, or your probation supervisor, and that you'll get along well and get this all squared away.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may go at this time.
All right, I'm going to give you a twofer. I'm going to give you a Simpson clip, and then right after the Simpson clip is going to be Judge Wong. I don't know if you've ever seen Judge Wong. He is dry humor, but he is funny. He is funny. He's cool. All right, so we got Simpson and then Wong. Got to do it. Got to do it. I love this chat. I love hanging with you. Let's go.
Okay, very good. And is Miss Smith, Letitia Smith here?
Yes.
All right. All right, where are we on this case?
Your Honor, the defendant has a balance of $2,756, and she's made no payments on this matter.
All right, ma'am, what's your position?
My position right now is I've been waiting for different organizations to help me. If not, I'm gonna have to move.
All right, have you contacted Hawk?
What is that?
Okay. Were you here for the first hearing?
Yes.
She was.
Okay, so the notes reflect that you applied for an SER with DHS?
Yes.
Okay. Did you also contact Housing Access for Washington County to see whether or not you could get assistance through that organization or through SOS to apply for other funding?
I'm not from Ypsilanti, so I really didn't know all of that. And I have a couple places now that I've been trying to reach out to.
All right. Let me give you a phone number.
Okay. Wait a minute.
And ma'am, when you were in the last hearing, did you hear Judge Barr tell you that there was an organization that might be able to help?
Well, see, I'm new to the Zoom too. So I came in kind of late on my last Zoom and I didn't know how to unmute it. I'm not good with the Zoom. So
All right.
I kind of missed half of what he told me. I got the ending of it. So I didn't get no numbers or anything.
Okay, let me give you a phone number. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, it's area code 734-961-1999.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Can we
So,
also ask Ms. Smith to make a partial payment between now? I mean, I assume I'm gonna
well,
turn this
I'm
out.
getting there, Mr. Frontera.
I
All
apologize.
right. She's maybe be a step behind here. So, all right. So what I want you to do is I want you to call that number today.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
let me ask you this. I'm going to put this out a week. And is there anything that you could pay between now and next week?
Well, next week I get a check. It'll be next Friday. I don't know how much it'll be. I just started a new job again. So I had got the COVID, so it's really been hard. That's what's made me behind.
She got the COVID.
Okay.
She got the
I
COVID.
understand. I'm just wondering. So you don't think that between now and next Friday, there's nothing that you can pay?
Yeah, like I said, I get paid next Friday. So
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know
Then
what the check will
here's
be.
what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to adjourn it to March 17th, 2023 at 10 a.m. Okay?
Okay.
And so I want you to call there and where'd Amy go? She disappeared on me. I know she's here, but she disappeared on me. She was on the screen and then she just, you can't do that. You can't do that. It makes me like really nervous, okay? It's like, where's Amy? Everything will just stop because well, anyway, we'll deal with that later. Can you,
I'd be
somehow
happy
or
to meet with
another,
her right now if you'd like. I'd be happy to meet with her right now if you'd like, just to make sure she has all the information she needs.
that we can do that too. All right. So Ms. Smith, here's what I'm going to do. I put your case out to next week, 10 o'clock, and we're going to put you into a room with Amy, and she's going to give you some other information regarding sources and other things. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of NCDG Realty and Property versus Teja Jackson.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Fancher, on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Emily No, and I'm requesting permission to practice under Michigan Court Rule 8.120 for the supervision of Mira Edmonds on behalf of defendant Tia Jackson.
Okay.
Okay.
You've been before me before, correct?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have. Okay. Sometimes my memories go. All right. Permission to practice is granted.
Thank you.
Okay, where are we on this?
What happened was, Ms. Jackson evidently was in your courtroom. And
Okay.
My
So now we're gonna go
is
to.
glitching. Like everybody's like staticky right now.
You know how I love
Okay.
technical difficulties.
Let's do this, Miss Jackson. Thank you for letting us know. We're going to shut your video down and let me know if that helps, okay? Can you hear us now, Miss Jackson?
Yeah, I can actually see you guys much better too.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, go ahead, folks.
So we've agreed to orally set the judgment aside, and adjourn the case for 2 weeks, because there's a balance on the account, which she's on Section 8, so there's a balance on the account, which is a combination of her portion, some late fees, some utilities, and some damage charges. And I told Ms. Snow and her partner that I would be back in touch with them middle of next week and see if we can sort out exactly what is owed. So if the court would.
Okay, here we go. We're going to go to Judge Wong now. If you want,
yes,
here's
sir.
Alvin T. Wong.
Jackson, where are you? There you
He's in
are.
DeKalb.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You want to talk to the prosecutor, see what we can do with your case this morning?
Do I know where I stand?
I don't know. Do you know where you stand?
Not yet.
You want to talk or not?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Yes.
It's a misdemeanor to the 4th degree, so.
Well, I'm glad you know all about it.
Yeah, I've been doing my research on it.
You want to talk to a lawyer? Are you working?
No, I'm not at work right now, but I'm heading to work.
You have a job?
Yes, I do.
All right. You want to talk to? Why don't you talk to the prosecutor and see what will come of it?
Okay.
We're not happy about it. We can talk about it, but don't go anywhere until you come back and talk to me and get a court date. If you don't get it worked out, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Just be patient with us. We'll get to you.
Oh, Grim. Boo.
James.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, that is my case. I will need a brief conversation with Ms. James, please.
Judge, you skipped number 23, 25.
All right. Gary James. Gary James. Chaz Johnson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Githier here on behalf of Chaz Johnson. Judge, Mr. Johnson, we are in the process of trying to get him into diversion. We're just waiting, I guess, for the acceptance. So we would just ask for a continuance, maybe to the next calendar, pretrial calendar, to make sure he's gotten in.
What's the status on that, Melissa?
Like he was recently approved on the 8th for the program, so he should be on the lookout for the enrollment information.
That's great news.
I'm going to put you on a...
All right, guys, I'm going to cut it. I hope you guys have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. I promise you, the Judge Kim, I'm putting it all together. The next live is going to be a Judge Kim court case from beginning to end. My moderators and my people in the Discord know who I'm talking about. I'll give you a little preview. It's about a certain entertainment star, a young entertainment star that got into a little trouble, and he's out now. And Judge Kim was his judge. So, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. You've been served.